It is that time of year again for college acceptances and unfortunately rejections arriving in the mailbox. So how should parents keep their kids, help them cope, and how much should parents actually get involved in the entire process? And also, of course, there is the question of, can we afford it? So weigh in with her advice on the process. Author and educator Dr. Amy Alomar is joining us once again. Thanks so much for being back with us.
Good morning.
All right, so it's very overwhelming. It's a lot of excitement and then also in some cases a lot of disappointment. How do parents help their children deal with it all? Because it's a very high and then unfortunately sometimes a very low point.
Yeah, so if your kid got in and that's what they want, congratulations. Take a moment to celebrate it, even if it's not your first choice. It's really important to let the kids lead the way and, make those decisions as best they can with your support.
Yeah. And so how should parents walk their kids through the process of eliminating other schools if they've gotten accepted to several schools?
So if they're accepted to several schools, as much as you can, let them make the decision, but you can set parameters. So if they're distance parameters, for example, or financial parameters, you can set those. But ideally, they're the ones going to college and they're the ones that have to be successful there. So you want to set them up for that success and let them lead the way in that. If they didn't get into their first choice or their second or at all, you want to walk them through the frustration. Allow them to be upset and annoyed, but then show them that there are choices. They do have choices that they can make, and those can look different for different kids.
Now, what do parents do if the situation is that their first choice is the same as their kid's first choice, but unfortunately, it's just not financially feasible? College is very expensive. How do we deal with that and the kids and the disappointment? And we both want it, but we just can't.
There are options out there, and so the college actually is a great resource for you to look for financial aid, and they can give you some information. Your high school is an amazing resource that we forget about. Sometimes we're always so panicked, but your counselor has a lot of information on that. Ideally, you've started, that like a year ahead, so if you haven't, it's not too late. You can still look at your options, but you want to investigate what's going to make the most sense for the family. And if it doesn't work, be honest with your kid. The worst thing to do is kind of be dishonest or overstretch yourself, and then everybody ends up kind of unhappy and you can't see it through.
It might be a good opportunity to have the conversation about debt. Like, we can get into debt, we can finance so much, and if you are really in love with this college, then you're going to have to kind of take it upon yourself and understand that you're going to be paying for it for well into your 30s or something like that.
And there's work programs they can do at school too to contribute.
Yeah. Well, I know I'm still paying for my college for sure. All right, so what do parents do if their child decides on a college that they're just not really thrilled about? It's within the parameters that they discussed, but the parents are just like, oh, not really happy about that one.
So again, I would lean on the child's choice. So if the kid has chosen this and it seems like a good fit, support your child. If it's out of the question, they shouldn't have applied for it. And so if you've come to agreement on them applying for it, I would support them in their decision. This is a huge independent step they're taking. So you want to, you're raising an independent adult. So this is a great step toward that.
All right, now we're talking about the admissions process, and a lot of parents, they want to help their kids as much as they can, but they really shouldn't go as far as helping them write the essay by, that's running the essay, and that's kind of a no-no.
Yeah, so if you're just starting this search, this is a great time to explore college campuses and just talking about it really abstractly. You don't want to stress your 10th or 11th grader out just yet, but talking about it, making it a reality, and then, really, again, if you can, talk about the finances, but the application process, ones that have to get into college, and the college is accepting your student to do work on their own merit. So you don't want to do the application for them, and it's a great experience.
Right. I do have to ask you, there might be some situations out there where students, they applied a year before and they got accepted. They've got lots of options, but maybe the student's going to their parents saying, you know what, I think I want to take a break. Maybe I don't want to go right away. How do parents sort of adjust and have that conversation? Because sometimes a lot of parents say, no, you got into this great college, you should go, don't waste your time. But if the student isn't ready, if they're not into it, it's just probably not going to work, right?
This can be crushing for the parent that assumes their kid is going to go to college either straight away or at all. And really, it doesn't set anybody up for success to send a kid to college who is not anxious to be there. Now, if it's like a panic moment, they didn't get into the school they want, or they're just scared to leave home, support them, encourage them to go and try it, if they really did show a lot of excitement about it. But if they've been having this conversation with you for months and you feel convinced that they are not set out for it, don't put them there. It's not worth it. It's a waste of time and money. And they do have choices, and you do too. So it's kind of going back to the drawing board and seeing what those choices are.
Right, and being open to communication. I do want to mention